Hello, retro lovers, and welcome back. Who the hell are you?
I am. Thanks. It's a fair question. I'm Stuart.
Yeah.
I work with a respawning team.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We have a friend of mine here, Stuart, from the channel name.
Respawning UK, or just respawning.
And
It's got a little green blob. You'll find it easy enough.
there you go. We are going to Happy Christmas, by the way.
Christmas.
Yes, Happy Christmas. We are going to. We were kind of chatting, having a drink recently, and we kind of thought, is there a film or a game? Well, we were trying to come up with like Christmas games. Which are kind of hard to come by, it seems. Yeah. So we're gonna try and keep on that, and if we come up with something, I guess we'll try and do a quick playthrough.
Something multiplayer would be good. I mean, last year I spoke about on my channel Batman Arkham Origins. That's set at Christmas.
Yeah,
and it's quite Christmassy. But yeah, it's not very multiplayer friendly.
I guess we'll leave it to you guys. If you think of anything, leave it in the comments, I guess. And if we have time before the end of the month, because it's halfway through the month now, we'll try and do maybe a quick playthrough of something if we find something. But anyway, we came up with a Christmas film. You've seen this, right?
Yeah, so I've seen this probably about 20 odd years ago. I think last time I saw it probably about 14. Yeah.
Do you remember anything about it?
I remember like one scene, and that's about
it.
Okay.
Well, I haven't seen it at all. We're talking about National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I've seen a lot of National Lampoon films, not all of them. I thought I had until this one. I find a lot of them reasonably funny. I don't think they're like the funniest films, but I think it depends on the humour, I guess.
Yeah, so they definitely people talk about them, they get quite overhyped. I mean, I remember I watched Animal House probably about 4 years ago, and it was nowhere near as good as I remembered it being when I was a kid. And I think just purely because of like maybe matured, I don't know. I don't think they're not dating very well.
No,
from what I can tell. Anyway, the last National Lampoon film I did watch was the recent Vacation film,
right,
with Ed Helms, and that was bad. It wasn't good.
I didn't know about that until you just recently mentioned this.
I did, yeah. So I wouldn't recommend that at all.
Okay.
But this apparently is Chevy Chase at its finest. So
I can't remember the last time I saw Chevy Chase. I'm not like the biggest fan of his. The last time I saw him was in a film called Foul Play with Goldie Hawn.
Goldie Hawn, yeah.
And Dudley Moore, he makes an appearance as well. It was quite good, actually. I found it. Yeah. I was laughing at Dudley Moore's bits because I'm a fan of his, but that's the last time I saw Chevy Chase. I'm not familiar with his work too. I don't really watch him too much.
I love Chevy Chase. I mean, yes, he's not a nice guy at all by any means, but his films and his work, I really enjoy. I love Community. Community is a fantastic series. When his character leaves in that series, something's missing. Yeah, you definitely lose something.
Okay.
Three Amigos is one of my favourite all-time films.
Three Amigos, yes, I've seen that one. Three Amigos, that's a good film.
And Memoirs of an Invisible Man as well. That's a brilliant film. If you've never seen it, I big recommend on that one.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, like I say, I love Chevy Chase. The vacation films is just something I've never really watched on a regular.
Cool.
So it's just one of those.
Well, we can have a chat about it afterwards. Yeah, I guess we'll get into it more into more detail. So yeah, this is the first time that we're going to, first time in a while for you, but first time for me, that we're going to check out National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Do you want to click with me? Let's do it. Well, that was a bit odd. We kind of had a technical glitch.
Almost straight away? We didn't realise?
Yeah, we didn't realise until about half an hour before the end of the film. I just looked over and saw that there was something flashing on the screen. I have no idea what happened. I think the data was having trouble reading, being sent to the card or something. Anyway, we just watched the entire film, which went okay. That bit went okay.
That's easy enough, yeah.
We were reacting quite well, actually. It's a shame, because we were laughing in the right places and stuff. However, then we realised that none of it was recorded. About maybe 2 minutes in, something froze and we lost all of the information. So
there's not even any audio, sadly.
No.
Yeah.
So you've probably just got the intro bit that we did, and now we've decided to we sat through it, we watched it, we reacted well, and now we're just going to sort of give our afterthoughts on it, and that's just how it's got to be this time, I'm afraid, and we'll try and do better next time.
I can definitely see why it's a Christmas classic. It's got,
I don't know,
Christmas lunacy going on.
It wasn't as crazy, physically crazy as I was expecting.
No, I was
it wasn't as
slapstick.
It wasn't as slapstick as I was expecting, because I was certainly expecting a lot more to be going wrong. I thought it would end up with the house completely burnt down or something, like Home Alone. I thought it'd be more like Home Alone. But it wasn't really like that. There was a bit of that, but not as much as I thought there would be.
Yeah. There was nice big fireballs at times, but I thought it'd be much more insane than it is. The way people talk about it, it's just beginning to end. Everything goes wrong.
Most of it seemed to be completely unnecessary, like with the squirrel. I mean, most of that was just them causing, such a riot when they didn't really need to, and so, but it was fine. It wasn't. I think it. My first thoughts is I think it's slightly overrated.
Yeah, I think again it's the nostalgia value. Like the reason I think it'd be a Christmas classic is if you watched it as a kid.
Yeah,
and you enjoyed it,
which I didn't. So I can only that's literally the first time I've seen it. So I can only see it as a 36-year-old.
Yeah.
But as a kid, I think you're right. Maybe I would have thought about it differently.
Yeah, I can imagine people watching Home Alone now and be like, "What? I don't really get it," kind of thing. If they have never seen it, kind of fair enough. Again, I mentioned during the video actually that my other half only watched Home Alone last year for the first time. She's 28.
Wow.
And she was like, "I love this kid. He's a good one. I'd happily watch this next year." And she's not really big on films, but she was still a bit like, don't really understand the fuss at the same time. One of those. But yeah, with this one, I don't know, it just seems to be like the moments that Chevy Chase had would be the ones that stick in your brain, like when he just goes off on one at the end on a massive tirade and just swear-filled rant. I enjoyed that.
But even then, that wasn't too manic.
No,
I've seen bigger outbursts in films than that.
The bit that I remembered most is when he kicks the Father Christmas in the reindeer.
The statue in.
But that again, I think it's just something I may have even just seen over and over again the last few years. That's why I remember it so much. But yeah, there's a few memorable bits. But as a whole, I mean,
it's all right. It wasn't terrible.
There wasn't really much of a plot.
Not really.
Yeah, it was kind of just, we want to have the perfect Christmas.
It was basically just a guy, a suburban, like we said, a suburban father, trying to. That was the only bit that kind of seemed relevant. The fact that he was being ostentatious with it all, trying to create, going as far as shoving presents down the chimney, and
no, that didn't pay off either.
No. We didn't. No. We never.
No, that never went up the chimney.
There was no reaction to it. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing that did pay, the one joke that paid off for both of us though was him in the loft, the attic.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden dropping. That just killed us both.
That was good. I think that was the best sight gag, definitely. Yes.
Because I mean, the build up to that one, he'd broken through the ceiling, so he's just acting like he was stuck, even though he'd already broken through the ceiling onto a bed, and he could have just climbed out.
Like I said, I would have said it during the reaction if it was on camera, but like I said at the time. The clever thing about that gag, any clever thing about a gag, is if it distracts you enough to forget the scenario. In other words, what they did there cleverly was they made us forget about where he was because of the film he was watching, and because he was sat there like this, and the music had become quite mellow, and then suddenly, boom. Suddenly we think, oh yeah, he sat on the door, very good. So that's what made it funny. That's a good. It
was good for a laugh. I'd definitely watch it again.
But unfortunately, that was really the only moment where I really properly burst out laughing.
Yeah,
everything else was okay. It made me chuckle, but it certainly isn't the best or the funniest Christmas film.
No, not at all. No, not by a long shot.
I understand, as we said, why it's considered to be a classic and it's nostalgia. I get it, but I think it's a film of its time, definitely. But yeah, it was fine. It's good to see some veteran actors and actresses going on there.
Yeah,
some of whom we recognised.
Well, Juliette Lewis just turned up in Marvel recently.
Yeah.
Juliette Lewis, well, she's
we
Juliette
all know
Lewis
from Dusk Till Dawn and
Dusk Till Dawn, Cape Fear, and
Gilbert
Grape, and God knows what else she's been in, like just tons of stuff. What's his name? Galecki?
Johnny Galecki, obviously from Big Bang, and Roseanne as well. He was in.
Was he in Roseanne?
David, Darlene's boyfriend, Chevy Chase. As I said if I'm going to show the intro, I did say this before that the last thing I remember seeing Chevy Chase in was a film called Foul Play, with Goldie Hawn. He plays a cop, a kind of a druggy cop where he takes marijuana and stuff. But I'm not the biggest fan of his. I haven't seen him in a lot. I know that he was in SNL, right? He did a lot of SNL
Saturday
stuff.
Night Live first series.
That's I've seen some sketches with him in that, but generally I'm not I don't follow his work the way I do other actors. I've nothing against him. I mean, he's a fine actor, I'm sure, but I've just never really sort of taken to him. He's just not my kind of actor. Maybe he's a bit too bland or a bit too plain or something. He's a bit too deadpan.
For me, he kind of just turned up in things I used to just watch. Three Amigos is one of my favourite films of all time.
I do like that one. I have seen that one. Well, but not because of him. I like Martin Short.
Martin Short's incredible as well.
He's hilarious. Yeah.
And Steve Martin, to be fair. But with Community, actually, Chevy Chase is one of the reasons why I watched Community initially. It was introduced to me from a friend. He's like, we've got to watch this. And I was watching it. I was like, is that Chevy Chase? It's like, yeah. It's like, oh, fucking A.
He ages well as well. I've seen recent pictures of him, and he looks more or less. He looks older, obviously, but he looks more or less the same.
They do make a joke in Community at one point. They show a picture of him as a young man, and he's got his chin dimple. And it's like, this is from before your chin dimple filled in, because now he doesn't have it. Obviously, because he's just got a bit more meat on his face.
Well, he probably had it fixed.
And I just thought it was so funny. But no, so Chevy Chase is one of those. I like him when he appears and stuff, but I know that behind the scenes he's just not a great dude. Which is just a shame. So
yeah, it just seemed to, the whole film seemed to be lacking in a lot of the things that it kind of led me to expect. So it was lacking in slapstick, physical slapstick.
Yeah.
It was lacking in any real story, really.
Yeah, because it kind of felt about halfway through the film, it kind of felt the story was over.
It was just a guy that was preparing for Christmas with his big family. Yeah. That's it. There wasn't really anything. Well, maybe the bonus.
The bonus thing.
Maybe a little bit.
That was just kind of.
But even then,
underneath,
that was something and nothing, because he gets the letter. Why he didn't have any reason at all to believe that it was his bonus. It could have been from anyone. I mean, he didn't even notice it wasn't even from the
his work partner or whatever it is said he had his delivered to his home. But I forgot that. So there was that.
He knew the guy.
So he knew a bonus was coming, but then obviously. The boss was like, oh no, I didn't even give out bonuses anyway, and he got a Jello.
Yeah, what the hell was that about?
Jelly man.
What did you think of Randy Quaid?
Shitter was full.
Just
it was his brother, right?
Cousin-in-law, he said at the end.
Oh,
yeah.
What? A cousin-in-law.
So I'm assuming it's his wife's cousin.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the only thing I can think, but he's just taken a shining to.
Could have been his brother, but we go with cousin-in-law. Yeah. Fair enough.
He just seemed kind of out of nowhere pointless. Yeah, I was expecting more. We said it during the thing, but I was expecting, this is when it's going to go mad. It's when everything's going to go wrong, because we got this. But it just really didn't.
Nothing did.
I mean, he emptied his septic tank into the drains.
Yeah, very graphic as well.
Yeah,
we actually see it.
Which is a bit gross. He's getting drunk on a porch. He ends up kidnapping the boss. And that's pretty much...
Which was quite good. That got a laugh when we saw him with the bow on it.
Giant bow, that was good.
I imagine him being tied up, but not with a bow.
And his dog was a bit gross, but... Well, even then, it was just snotty, and then that was pretty much it. Throws up under the table. We don't see that at all. It was just kind of... Yeah, he was just kind of turns up and just annoys Clark a bit, and then... Yeah,
it was just underwhelming. Yeah. Not underwhelming, but maybe underwhelming.
Again, I think we both went into it expecting more.
Yeah,
because
but that's my point.
People talk about it a lot.
That's my point. It kind of does. That's the thing. It was lacking in what it leads you to expect. It leads you to expect more. The cover alone, that cover where he's in his Santa outfit wrapped in the lights like this, getting shocked. We don't see that.
He doesn't get electrocuted at all,
or anything like that.
You see a spark come out of the plugs at one point, but never one point he's actually fully getting electrocuted.
So it kind of overdoes it with expectations. I think that's what I think about it. It's fine. It's nothing wrong with it, but it's just maybe sends out the wrong message again. Like you just said, maybe it's to do with the fans and the nostalgia now.
Well, also being a John Hughes film as well. I think also that's well going. It was written by John Hughes.
Yeah,
and but things that we know
directed by someone else.
Yeah, true.
Maybe it would be different if he directed it. There you go. Something to think about. But like we said just now, because this was literally the first time I'd seen it. I'd never seen it before today, and I'm 36. Maybe if I'd seen it as a kid when it came out in 89, I was 4, so I was too young. But maybe in the early 90s, I would have thought differently about it. But watching it now. I'm not going to give it I tried to avoid giving like marks or anything, but it's good, not bad.
Yeah, it's just kind of average, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'd be the same. I'd put it on again.
It's the kind of thing. It's the kind of thing that I would watch again, but it's the kind of thing where I would put on in the background while I was making Christmas.
While you're wrapping presents or something.
Yeah, so you have to be like an activity to put something to put on in the background. We're doing an activity or something. But not one that I'd want to like sit down like we are now and watch it again. You look
up for the big laughs and go back to what you're doing.
Because to tell you, notice that we were both getting a little bit bored towards half an hour. You started looking at your phone, which is fine. Yeah, but we started sort of we started drifting off a bit. I was too.
I started looking at my phone because the recording. We realised the recording stopped. And
it doesn't matter. It's just I was the same. I was the last 30, 45 minutes. I was starting to think of other things. I was like, shall we play a game next? Or, I was just thinking that, what are we going to do after this? But 30, 45 minutes before the end.
Well, like I said, around about that point, we both was this kind of feels like it's over. He got the lights up, he kind of had all the family over.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like, okay, he seems to have done what he's set out to do.
And the end was it was a bit odd too, because...
She's like, I did it. And it's like, no,
I did it. When he said that, I was like, did what?
Yeah.
You didn't do anything. Did what? It's like...
Supposed to have had a great Christmas.
I quite liked the ending with the reindeer going over the moon, like you said, very good. Yeah. But again, that could have been. It also can we talk about the laws of physics in this film for a second? Because that was really bugging me actually. Because I've got OCD, right? So I was really getting pissed off, especially the sled.
Let her rip, Hank Penn.
He just rockets it off out of nowhere.
He goes down the hill. He rockets. Where the hell did those rockets come from? Was that just fireworks or something?
No, I think he was just pushed himself off, and I think because he was polishing the sled beforehand, wasn't it? So I think the idea is he made it so slippery, he was just able to launch it and fly, and that was it.
And then
it was just a visual gag.
And then he goes down the hill. And where the hell does the momentum come from for that sled? Because for some reason he keeps going and going and going through the town, through the street, into someone's house, and then we see the camera. Did you see? You did see the shadow of the camera, right? You briefly see the shadow of a camera on the part of the wall when he goes through. It's over in a second, but you do see it.
Then it comes out the shed.
And then, I didn't notice that, but you said they can still see him.
Yeah, right at the top they can still see him, and he's gone through woods across a couple of roads, in a mall, everything. And it's just like, pretty sure we didn't see that a second ago.
Now I know it's comical, I get it, we're nitpicking, fair enough. But as I say, I've got OCD, so it was really pissing me off. And also, what was that thing? I laughed when he's fantasizing about that shopkeeper woman and
it breaks the 180-year-old, doesn't it?
Because he was looking at her from the side. From the window, she kicks off her underwear from the front, and then it hits him in the face. And I'm like, no, that kind of thing keeps me awake. I'm going to be lying awake tonight thinking about that. That's not how it works. The physics in this film were just completely off. The editing was a bit weird too, in that regard. You're right. They did break the 180 a couple of times. The camera work was quite good, though. A few handheld moments. Yeah, the camera work was pretty good.
Moving through the house was quite good.
Yeah, following them up the stairs and everything. But there
was a nice callback joke as well when Randy Quaid picks up the sled and you can see it's all kind of just
yeah.
I thought that was
continuity
was
all right.
Nice little touch on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's nice camera work. The music was good.
Music was good. The song, they did a song at the end, especially written for it.
Yeah, at least we think it was anyway.
Unless there was already, unless there happened to already be a song or Christmas Vacation. So yeah, the way that parts of the film were made certainly good, notable. Yeah, we're still going. Yeah. I keep checking myself.
Yeah.
Because I look across and suddenly we're frozen. Technically speaking, most of it was pretty good. Now I think about it. Now we've actually talked about it. Just the story, the comedy
is
lacking a bit.
We went in expecting more. That's
I was certainly expecting,
because I fully expect this to be like the Christmas classic and one of the funniest Christmas films ever. Yeah. And I remember watching it years ago, but I remember one scene, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
And I said to you, like, through the film, I just don't remember any of this at all.
I can't even remember seeing clips of it. I'm sure I have.
Yeah,
but I can't remember.
I think that's probably the kind of the reason people hold on in such high regard has to be nostalgia. Has to be when they watched it like 10 years old, if that.
I suppose that's why I want to check it out, because that's the whole point of the channel, is to do retro stuff. So I'm glad I've seen it. I'm glad I've ticked it off the list now. I didn't have any problem with it. I've seen worse films, that's for damn sure. But I thought it was fine. I liked it. I don't think I've got anything else to say on it, though. Really, I mean, it's not that's kind of what I feel. I've said what I've needed to say about it, and I don't need to say anything else, because that's
one thing I expected to see, because a lot of the you see much, especially recently anyway, you see the car with the tree on top of it.
Yeah,
I expected to see that for more of the film. Yeah, I thought part of this film was going to be more road movie dealing with the tree as well.
Yeah,
I thought that was going to be a bigger thing, but it was just
when we went into the film, the first 5-10 minutes of it, I couldn't believe how hyped they were making a tree. How they were making they put a holy beam on it, for God's sake. It's like, it's just, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like a nice Christmas tree sometimes, but when I can afford it. But no, I do generally. I like a nice Christmas tree, but come on, they were overselling it a little bit, weren't they? You know, how can you get that hyped about a tree?
And then he chops the bottom off and chops the top off anyway.
Yeah.
You just say, why do you get a tree so big, and it's just going to make it like
with the
middle section of a tree.
With popcorn over it, yeah. Stringing popcorn, that's an American thing, isn't it?
It's got to be.
Stringing up popcorn, yeah.
It's an American thing, or a very old style.
It's kind of like the American equivalent of that thing that we did where we used to loop paper chains together as kids. Yeah, Americans do that as an equivalent sort of thing. So I liked it. Not brilliant, but not terrible. It was just good. It was fine, funny in some parts, just not as many parts as I thought there would be. That's all. So anything else?
No, I think we've said it.
I think we're good. I think we're good here, guys. So right, let's do the shout outs. If you like what you see on the channel, drop us a comment, give some suggestions, some thoughts, whatever, on the film, and give us some other films to see. If you know of any Christmas games, let us know. We want to know that,
please.
As quickly as possible.
We want to get involved on that side of things as quickly as, because again, could only think of one, and it's Batman Arkham Origins. And then Christmas, it was Bible games for you, wasn't it?
I saw only because I saw that on AVGN, and because he did Bible games on one video. Give us a like and a share and subscribe, guys, if you like what you see on the channel. What's your channel again?
Respawning UK onto YouTube. You find it easy enough.
And check it out. It's pretty cool stuff. We'll see you next time. In the meantime, thanks for tuning in. Happy Christmas, guys. Sorry about the glitch, but we'll do better next time.
Yeah. See ya.
Bye.